Lovely to see you here. I'm sure there'll be a few more on in a little while. Right, so I'm going to pick my first card. Oh, that's interesting. A little bit different to last month's. And it's life's challenge. So life challenges, which is really interesting for this month, coming up to go into March, because I think so much is changing for all of us. Once again, the last card being abundance. And I think because we got through the last year unscathed and still here, I just think is a blessing in that respect. So what I'm going to do now is just read out the card and then I'll read it again. So life offers us challenges so we can expand our abilities, stretch our horizons and strengthen in ourselves. Have some challenges been arising lately? Problems are best solved when we come from the certainty that the solution is already here. Close your eyes and imagine receiving 3 balloons filled with empowering internal resources. One is filled with trust, one with wisdom, and one with clarity. Imagine breathing these qualities in right now, letting them suffuse your whole being. Now imagine how you'll feel 1 year from now as these qualities permeate your life. Breathe how you'll breathe a year from now. Feel how you'll feel. Look back over the last year and see how effortlessly you faced that old challenge. How easily it is that it was resolved. It may even seem as though it was never really a problem, that grace somehow handled it all. From the certainty that the challenge has already been handled comes true inspiration. Start from that certainty. It's really interesting that, life's challenges, like you say, have come up today, going into March, because, like you say, everything is new, and we've probably felt these life challenges, especially over the Christmas and the New Year. If you've been with family and then you've had any illnesses, because with winter sometimes comes the old coughs and sneezes and everything else, and they do challenge us in our day-to-day life, because we're living the same thing over and over, like Groundhog Day, but then you have these challenges that pop up and they sort of knock you sideways. So then you have to find the resolve and the resolution for them. So what I'm going to do is read the card out again so that you can actually soak it in. So life challenges. Life offers us challenges so we can expand our abilities. That is so true. Stretch our horizons and strengthen in ourselves. Have some challenges been arising lately? Problems are best solved when we come from the certainty that the solution is already here. Close your eyes and imagine receiving 3 balloons filled with empowering internal resources. One is filled with trust, one with wisdom, and one with clarity. Imagine breathing these qualities in right now, letting them suffuse your whole being. Now imagine how you'll feel 1 year from now as these qualities permeate your life. Breathe how you'll breathe a year from now. Feel how you'll feel. And look back over the last year and see how effortlessly you faced that old challenge, how easily it was resolved. It may even seem as though it was never really a problem, that grace somehow handled it. From the certainty that the challenge has already been handled comes true inspiration. Start from this certainty. So with that, I want you to take, not if you're driving though, Catherine, we've just seen that you're driving. But yeah, don't close your eyes, Catherine, if you're driving, please. I don't want to be responsible for that. But I want you to take 3 deep breaths. So take a deep breath in. Let it out. Another deep breath in. And let it out. Another deep breath in. And let it out. And I want you to ask yourself, what is in my life right now that feels like a challenge? What is challenging you right now? Is it life itself? Is it work? Relationships? Just ask yourself the question, what feels like a challenge in my life right now? And allow the answer to come up on its own. Just feel into that. And let me know in the chats what came up for you. So it was really funny because for me, the word regret came up. And I have no idea at this moment in time what that is. Or do I? I possibly do. And I think when we look back over the last year and think of the things that have happened to us, for us, with us, and the challenges we faced, and we've come through those challenges, but sometimes we haven't resolved them by now. You know, they can sort of go on for a little bit longer until they are resolved, because they still feel like they're tugging at our heartstrings, in our minds. They're just there constantly, niggling in the back of your mind, which sometimes you think, well, no, actually they're not. But, you know, normally is the case that they are. There's something niggling there. And I think it's always good to just see what that could be. And then the more we go into it, the more we're going to allow it to come up, to be resolved. And Jude said, patience is my next step unfolding. Yeah, that's interesting. How much do I have to decide? So your decisions, Jude, are based on what you want to do to go forward. So, you know, your life challenges, if there are any, or they're just, like you say, you're flowing with it right now. So it's going forward is to not see any challenges as such, but to see them as solutions so that you can go forward in a more positive way. But to breathe into everything that comes up for you, because I think it's when we don't stop and don't breathe, that's when other things arise, and then we find that there's blocks and challenges are even deeper than they need to be. Yeah, Florence, keep going with trust. It is all about trust. I think when you've been there so many times, you know, I've done it for many years, trusting in the divine, and then all of a sudden you have a lull and it just feels like nothing's happening, and you feel a challenge that because nothing's happening, but you're meant to be on an even level plane then, so that you can gather yourself together. And sometimes it feels like a long time before things start moving again, and that you're, you know, creating again. But in that time, you learn so much from other people and about yourself that it opens you up to just going into something new in a different way. Because everybody that comes into our life shows us something, even good or bad, challenges or not. You know, it's all to open us up to becoming the new, and we become new every single day. You know, every single day we become somebody new because we've learned something different the day before. And I laugh when you get firsts, you know, the first thing you experience that you've never experienced before. And I laugh at being, you know, 56 and you like in Wales last week on holiday, I must have had about 6 firsts, and I was like, woohoo, because it was like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt like I had that many for a long time. And even though Wales, the weather wasn't so brilliant, you know, we made the most of it. We made the most of the weather we could, and we got out. So we didn't see that as a challenge. We sort of stayed in, hunkered down when the rain and the wind were sideways, and then got out for an hour or three when it wasn't, and when it was just drizzling, you know. So we didn't see it as a challenge. We saw it as right, we're going to do it at this time, or we're going to do it at that time. So the solution's always there for you. And Muriel, life lost, injured back. Yeah, because some things slow us down, Muriel, in life. And any injured pain can slow us down a little bit. And it sort of softens us in a way that we sort of do go inwards more so than, you know, coming out. And even that in itself is, it is a challenge, because if you've been doing everything you want to do, and then all of a sudden you're pulled back because of any injury or anything that happens to us, it is very challenging. But there are always solutions to find an easy way to do what you want to do, but not how you did it before. So, you know, you can sort of find the solutions in that, so that you're not pushing yourself too hard, that you only do what you can do right now, you know, and things will get better. They do get better, and they change, they're different. And Jude, yes, we say, I am ready and available, show me my next step, and then expect it to show up immediately. That's true, Jude. I think we're all guilty of that, wanting that to, you know, something to happen and something to change. And I think sometimes it's the subtle changes and just the knowing that, you know, something's going to change, but you just actually don't know what it is yet. And it will, you know, it will come and it will change. And like you say, you know, there's a few of the ladies on that, you say, you know, you had a big weekend this weekend, so, you know, there'll be lots of changes from that, and what you experienced on the weekend in Ireland. So it's like everything will change in its own right. So whereas, you know, we always think of challenges, and we always think we're on our own, and actually, you know, when we look at ourselves as a community, and we have friends that we can turn to, and a community, it makes it so much easier. Even though they can't or won't be able to do the steps for us, sometimes, like you say, they've done it before, or they may know a solution that you could sort of adapt to suit you. So, you know, there's always ways of looking at life's challenges and changing that, so that you can move forward in a more positive way, so that you feel like, you know, everything is working for you, you know, and you're not feeling like it's all against you, because sometimes you can, because you've got so much loaded onto you that you didn't expect, you didn't really want. And like you say, they show up and they show us more of who we are and how strong we really are, because we, you know, we go on to the next step, and then you look back over the year or over the 10 years or whatever, you look back at what you've achieved and what you've actually done in life, and it's amazing. And at the time, you just go through it, because it's part of your stepping forward and learning how to adapt and how to find the solutions rather than seeing the challenges. Because, like I say, every day, every week, a challenge may come up for all of us, and it often does, even just living with the same person all the time, and you're going, you know, because they're the way they are, and you have to live with them, you know. Or, you know, being on your own, and you're thinking, oh, I wish I was with somebody, but then, you know, you have that much more freedom to do the things you want to do, but then you have to look at it as if, what is it you want to happen in your life? Because when we have some sort of plan as to what we want and where we want to go to next, then it starts to roll in our energy, you know, and the rumblings are there. If it's meant for us, then it'll be that it comes to us when we're ready for it.